All right, and we're live, and I'm going to save Charlie. Sick of watching the Press Club video. I avoided that problem by not watching it. I mean, what new am I going to learn from Pauline Hanson? Apparently, she leaned heavily into the Trumpy stuff, including berating journalists for doing their job, acting like she's above it, and she's going to ban them. What the fuck? Sorry, there's some bug was hiding in my orange. What the fuck is that about? Okay, this is wild. What is this? Is that? Oh my god, this is weird. Was that alive or not? Okay, that was just weird. And yeah, I'm on two screens. Nice. And hello, Soph. Oh, I might do my usual warm-up. I had a cocktail in mind to make a short video of. We're going to try these later, do some comparisons. Did another bloody Nick's Wine Merchant again, because they're just like, oh, this was $200, $230. We'll sell that for $100. And like, oh, I don't know. It's like, seems like it's really classy mezcal, and like Paul mezcal. Ha ha! All right. All right. This goes here. This one here. Alrighty. Let's get ready, because here I come now. Let's go sit here. Let's go sit here. Okay, I'll put that there. Brings the big light out for a close up. Hello, Heiny. I'm doing a robot pause dance. Oh no. We're having some technical problems. Okay. That was my phone with the recipe. No, wait, Trello. Come on, stop it. Eclipse number 2. So, rum. Which rum will we do? They're talking about a lightly aged rum. Choices. No, we're not the Beanley. Oh, this is actually the Year of the Snake one. I'll put the snake image out. Green chartreuse, which is why the cocktail caught my eye, because it has green chartreuse in it, and I thought that sounded interesting. Lemon juice and sugar syrup. Okay. And a couple of drops of sea lime. This lemon sugar syrup as well. Okay. So 45 minutes? Yes. All right. Ooh, that's a very rummy rum. Okay, is this ready? And I'll do the thing I always lie about doing. I'll chill my glass. Let's do this. And this just looks better if I do this. Right. Okay, so we are just about ready. All right, let's go. Mils. 15 mils. Mm-hmm. 10 mils. Couple of drops of saline. Yeah. Let's do that. That ice in there. And a little bit more ice in there. Okay. Let's go with this. Shake our little booties right down to the middle. Oh man, that chartreuse is really coming through. Okay, dot's done. Now if we just do the talky bit. I forgot to do the garnish. That's okay. Life goes on. As Shakespeare said, long after the thrill of living is gone. Right. So it'll take about a few minutes. Let me put that on there. Ooh. That on there. Right, put a few more lids on. Let's avoid any dramas or disasters. Okay, that looks ready. That's ready. That looks ready. G'day, cocktail. Cut the first line wrong. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is a rum sour with an interesting herbal element that I was keen to try. It's called the Eclipse No. 2. I found quite a few cocktails with the name Eclipse or variations thereof. This one, arbitrarily, is No. 2. I didn't make the decision. I'm just going by what the internet told me. It's rum and green chartreuse primarily, and that's an interesting combo that I want to try. Let's see what it's like. That chartreuse really comes through. It's got some brightness from the lemon juice and the rum underneath it all as the backbone. This is quite tasty. I'll show you how to make it. In a shaker, put 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of rum, then half an ounce or 15 mils of green chartreuse, then half an ounce or 15 mils of lemon juice, then a third of an ounce or 10 mils of sugar syrup. And just to make the flavors come up, I'm adding 2 drops of saline solution. Add ice to the shaker, shake that for 10 to 15 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. And then I'm straining that into a chilled Nicanora glass. The simplest description of this is it's like a daiquiri with chartreuse in it, which gives it a very interesting herbal element, as I was saying. So I'm a big... words hurt. Okay. The simplest description of this cocktail is it's like a daiquiri with chartreuse. So it's got that brightness, lemon juice rather than lime juice, and the chartreuse is just adding a richness and a herbal element, which is quite different for a daiquiri. I think it works really well. I love a classic daiquiri. This is a really interesting and tasty alternative. I recommend you try an Eclipse No. 2. Cheers. Oh, god damn. Okay, switching stuff off and sitting down. Oh, finished just in time for a noisy car to go past, but didn't disrupt me, so I'm fine. Let's put this over here, out of the way. Oof, and you know what? I'm going to transfer glasses. Put it in this one. And I open this up. I just like, for the stream, I like the Cabinet of Wonders to be open. Well, there we go. There we go. Let's do some garnishing now. So who's freezing? Hello, Madam Butterfly. Is suffering. Oh, okay. Sorry. You know what that is? That's my fault because I was uploading something and I thought it would be done before the stream. Let me go and double check if it's finishing. Should be fine. Just 1 minute. Okay, it should be like 2 minutes and it should be better. My apologies. I didn't think it would make that big difference. Yes, Justin, I did see Get Up claim responsibility for pranking Shithead's press club presentation, which is a bit of a hoot. Thank you, So, for being glass half full. It's like I'm robot dancing. But yeah, hopefully not for very much longer. because I've got to keep control. Also, Get Up just makes me think of the old Bob Marley and the Wailers song. Get up, stand up. Stand up to be counted. Let's see how this goes. Like, the upload should be finished now. So it's very stupid of me. Should have done the upload earlier. Should have done the upload earlier in the goddamn week, honestly. You want to donate to Get Up, you feel free to donate to Get Up. It was definitely pretty funny. And it was like doubly funny because it came down so slowly and it was behind her, so she didn't know it was there. It's just like, you know, the whole pranky thing to get into the venue ahead of time and set it up so no one knew it was there apart from the pranksters. Pretty gosh darned funny. Oh, man. These fucking cherries. All right, there we go. I also ordered another jar of cherries from Nick's when I got these, because these were less than the free postage thing. And if I added the cherries, I got free postage. So it was like saving $10. Well, just an inside job, I think, is the obvious answer. One of them works in the venue or knows someone who works in the venue. And I would add a guess, and I mean, I have no evidence for this. This is literally just a blind guess. At a guess, I would say it was probably set up at least a day or more beforehand to avoid suspicion. Just like when nothing much was going on, set it up and have it ready to go. I'd very much doubt they did it the morning of, because they'd be more likely to get caught. And yeah, then they just sat there with their little remote, because now's the time. Lemony. Making me salivate a lot with the lemoniness. Actually, that just tastes mostly like lemon to me. It's dominating, even though there's not that much lemon juice in there. Hell of a thing. Hell of a thing. So I've got this very artisanal mezcal. Is this 500 or 700 mils? It's 700. Skinny bottle. I wasn't quite sure with the skinny bottles. I never sure what it is. So this is 700 mils. And I read up on this, and it's like they make it from an unusual agave plant, a smaller one than most people use. And the runs of these are only about 60 bottles. And I think Nick's must have got it remainder. Oh, yeah. So there's a handwritten thing on the back. Botella. Oh, no, there was 150 bottles of this. This is from 2017. So this was bottled almost. God knows where this has been. Like, I think Nick's regularly gets stuff that's just in the back of a warehouse somewhere and someone wants to get rid of it. And so got this rare artisanal mezcal. And they also had a bunch of chartreuse things and obscure chartreuse liqueurs on special. Chartreuse Genepi Intense. I'm going to compare this to yellow chartreuse. The label's just in French. The label in that one's just in Spanish, so I can't read any of it. I mean, if someone's a fan of Pauline Hanson, they're a fan of Pauline Hanson. They're a fucking brain dead piece of shit. I did see some of the reports. Some of the people thought, like, yeah, she did. It feels like the more you see of her, the less any sort of mildly disgruntled, middle of the road people should vote for her. Yeah, see, Charlie, at this point, you are being generous to the Australian public. I think anyone who's going to vote for One Nation is going to vote for them because they're a fucking piece of shit. Your Democrats abroad friends prefer Trump to Hanson. Well, Trump's killed more people. Don't know that Hanson's killed anyone, or because she's never had power. Whereas Trump will ultimately be responsible for killing millions of people with his regime cutting funding for medical aid around the world. You draw a straight line between their decisions and what will end up being in millions of deaths. So Hanson's definitely more ignorant. Trump had a hugely privileged upbringing and had more education and more exposure to the world. Hanson actually had a genuine, working class upbringing, running the fish and chip shop and all of that. It's just she's been a grifter, pathological liar for a couple of decades now. Trump's been a grifter his entire life. Hanson's a relative novice at grifting, only having done it for a couple of decades, and to a degree about a thousandth of what Trump's done. Like, Trump is literally criminally generating billions of dollars from his presidency. Like, it's straight up crime. It's not like, I'm disgusted and affronted. Oh, he's so shifty. He's criming. He's just openly criming all the time. Yeah, well, Justin, Trump's smarter. That's like saying, I mean, okay, if we neglect the dementia with Trump, no, I definitely don't call Trump an evil genius. He's a soulless, moralless, rat cunning bastard. He's absolutely without morals. He just doesn't care. He has that base rat cunning of just a shallow, spoiled bully. And Hanson is dictionary definition ignorant, as in uneducated, which in and of itself, I don't critique people for. What I critique people for is how they act, and she acts like a fucking piece of shit. That's a bit better when it diluted a bit more. But hey, I'm going to pretend to be sophisticated. Taste my artisanal mezcal that some family distillery in a remote part of Mexico made. Right, let's. I hate it when you can't fucking find how to. These plastic things, they melt onto the top to seal it. I mean, functionally they're good. They can be real shit to get off though. Okay, that's that open. And I think the chartreuse is just a screw top. It is. Okay. Also, I think that mezcal is going to do good glug glug ASMR. Okay, so yellow chartreuse with the chartreuse Jeremy. And I have a little bit of this mezcal left, which is why I needed a backup bottle. Okay, get my tasting glasses. Okie dokie, artichoke. Now, which one's going to be the most intense? The smoky mezcal might be the most intense. Maybe I should have the herbal. I think I should have the herbal stuff first. Hansen, I would call willfully ignorant, is one of those people who has this creepy pride in their ignorance. Anyway, let's see if we get glug glug out of this. Ooh, that was actually quality glug glug. Yeah, I think Hansen is proudly and willfully ignorant. Trump had education. Trump had exposure to the arts and the world and all of that. I think Trump's main problem is his ego and years of having people suck up to him. I think he genuinely believes he's a genius. And I also genuinely think he's in the advancing stages of dementia. Oh, that was satisfying. No, it's not cork, it's a stopper. Okay, I think this will be good glug glug too. Love sharing the ASMR. Yeah, a little bit of ASMR for that evening. All right. Mix all those into a cocktail afterwards. Okay, so this new herbal liqueur is yellow, like the chartreuse. Less aroma than I was expecting. It's vaguely fruity. Yeah, well, Justin, speaking of steaming piles of shit, Carlos Sandilands is fucking garbage. And again, just unhinged, egotistical fuckwit who thinks they're way smarter than they are. The Genepi does have more aroma than the chartreuse, though. I think that is a more intense taste. Ooh, got a sort of piney herbal element to it. Cleanse my palate with some icy water and yellow chartreuse. Chartreuse is way sweeter. Okay, but that's a good herbal alternative. Sorry, what? B. Sandilands' next venture? Oh, he'll definitely start a podcast. and just have right-wing grifters on it. Like with that cockhead from the morning show, who now just does this broy right-wing podcast. It's bizarre. Whoa. It's got that classic mezcal smoke. It's almost pineapple-y. Oh, that's a bit sharper. Oh, you mean join One Nation? Yeah, he'd probably get elected if he did, honestly, if he picked the right seat. It's more like an ashtray. A little acetone aroma on it too, like nail polish remover. Ooh. Ooh. It's well smoky and earthy going down. Damn. Liquid smoke. Oh, man, I like mezcal. All right, I'm going to turn that into some sort of old-fashioned. Maybe add some tequila to get up to volume. Yeah, add some tequila. This one's almost gone. My Blanco tequila. We got all the fancy agave spirits thanks to Nick's Wine Merchants. Well, I just do that. And the chartreuse is the sweetener. I do. All right. Yeah, just actually the Senate. Yeah, the upper house. I think you're absolutely right. Sandilands would probably get in. But also, I think he'd fucking hate that. I think he'd much rather have a podcast where he just got to talk shit and be a big man. Hey, Safa. Yeah, I thought it might be noisy rain for the stream because about half an hour before I started, some really noisy rain swept through, but it stopped very quickly. And I'm deep in my light and easy. Had a potato chickpea curry, vegetarian. Yes, Safi, you may not be surprised to learn we have been, and we're in fact pretty much in the middle of talking about Hansen. Oh, well, this is an experimental drink. Oh, it friggin' works though. Oh, that's really tasty. Yes, my dinner was actually Safa. Not super hot curry, but nice. Lots of rice. Fun. Employing her daughter on the taxpayer dollar is one of the least questionable things Hansen has ever done. I mean, like, she's literally done prison time for electoral fraud. New South Wales upper house is one electorate. Yeah, it's all fucking Senate elections are weird. Oh, you missed the chat. Oh yeah, no, she was saying how she's literally going to again. Okay, they're never getting power, but saying she'd get rid of SBS altogether and make the ABC a commercial enterprise, like a subscription service. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the people who said that Hanson's appearance at the press club would have made people less likely to vote for her. Charlie, I think, was being incredibly charitable to the Australian population, saying the get up prank will make people sympathize with Hanson, because I firmly and wholly believe anyone who has any sympathy for Hanson for that was already a stupid piece of shit and was definitely going to vote for One Nation. Yeah, so I sound like such a hipster when I say, but it is absolutely true. I don't think I've watched broadcast commercial TV in a decade. So even ABC and SBS, I'm usually watching on demand. I'm hardly ever switching on. Look at the fucking finger there. I don't know how much that's showing up. On the weekend, I was carrying a box in the shed because I was sorting some stuff, and I just smashed this hand into the door frame. It really fucking hurt. Like, all the knuckles they're still sensitive. The knuckles there were bruised, and that actually bled quite a bit. Anyway, I had a band-aid on it, and today I thought, oh, the scab looks healed. And I just have a really bad habit of picking at scabs. And so I picked at it today, and it just like bled like fuck. So then I had a band-aid on it again, which I took off just before the stream. Okay, so Charlie, you reckon that's not a hipster thing for the last 10 years because of streaming? Yeah? And that's it. I just watch streaming services or physical media. I have no idea. Young Mr. Angry is in a shared house. Young Ms. Angry, I actually don't know what her TV setup is. I mean, I have been to her flat, but I don't know what it is. God, Charlie, you're loving the train. You watched it for a second time. Well, probably Saturday morning for me. Oh, you watched it with the commentary track. Nice. It's ages since I've done a commentary track watch. Oh God, I had my fucking problem again today with watching stuff on Plex and there being no subtitles when people were not speaking English. It's so aggravating. But so yeah, I just tried to get the vibe from the scene. I couldn't be bothered. Trying again. Yeah, Charlie, I had it on Pauline Hanson mode, English only. Although, I mean, I would have been fine if the people were dubbed and speaking English, not Spanish. But c'est la vie. I tell you what, though, this was freaking Your Friends and Neighbors, the John Hamm series. I'm up to episode 8 out of 10 of season 2. And much like by the time I got to episode 8 of 10 in the first season, I was like, oh my God, this is so intense. What the fuck's happening? How are they getting out of this? That show is making me anxious. Justin, I'd be with you saying the Victorian election polls are useless. Yeah, and that's the thing. You can get all this stuff, people saying about their voting intention, blah, 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 blah. It comes down to what people do in individual seats. But as I have said multiple times, I am definitely not predicting a result. Okay. Having said that, I do think Labor are most likely to retain power just because the Liberals have to pick up so many seats. But would I be completely shocked if the coalition wins? A no confidence vote in Victoria from the Libs. They've got like 2 seats. It doesn't matter for shit what the Liberal Party says in Parliament. They don't have the numbers to do fucking anything. Safra, I don't think the antennas had anything to do with black and white versus color TV. I think it was the actual TV that was either black and white or color. I'm willing to be corrected on someone who knows more than me, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, God, Labor could get an increased majority again, and I wouldn't be surprised. Labor could get a reduced majority, and I wouldn't be surprised. Labor could just squeak in by one seat, and I wouldn't be surprised. The coalition could win, and I wouldn't be surprised. The Libs could form a coalition with One Nation to win, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's so unpredictable, and I'm with Justin. I don't think any of the fucking polls are worth shit. I don't think they tell us anything. So who's got moobs? I mean, what a question. Who's got moobs? I've got moobs. Why are you calling moobs, Rays? Okay, yeah, Charlie, that's what I thought. The antenna didn't make a difference. It was the TV that was the thing. Man, that's really interesting. I don't absolutely love it, but I don't dislike it. Oh, yeah, Heine. But also the Liberal Party is more than a little bit desperate. Oh, Rays, you took your shirt off, and you seem moobs. I mean, I could traumatize everyone by taking my shirt off and showing off my moobs as well. It could be a moob fest. Moob Fest 26. Oh dear. I just think I will spare the people Moob Fest. So what's hilarious, the Liberals are definitely desperate for power and Vic. What's been funny is the conservative media, and that's all the fucking media. There was a time like 90s when The Age was fairly progressive. It's not. It's as conservative as the Murdoch rags were in the 90s. And the Murdoch type rags have just swung further to the right. But yeah, the media have been so angry for the last decade that the people of Victoria keep voting for people they tell them not to vote for, i.e. Labor. It's fucking hilarious. Like, they campaigned so hard against Dan Andrews, then he won, and they were so angry. And then he implemented his key electoral promises, namely shut down that plan for the particular motorway extension that was going to take away people's homes, and do the level crossing removals and increase public transport. And the conservative media were indignant. How dare he? How dare he do a popular thing that he promised to do? How dare he? So the next election, they were like, okay, you made a mistake last time, but definitely vote him out this time. And he wins again. And they're like, I'm so angry. And then the election after that, they're like, okay, definitely. And he gets an increased majority, which was fucking hilarious when the conservative media went so hard against Dan Andrews the third election, and he got an increased majority because the Liberals was such a fucking joke. But everything's weird at the moment, so I don't know what's going to happen in the next one. Suffer, fun question. Would I get suspended for moobs? Okay. In the very early days of YouTube, and I mean like the first 2-3 years, it was sometime in the early stage of when I was on, we worked out the YouTube auto-generated thumbnail, because you couldn't upload your own thumbnail. It was the exact middle frame of the video. So if you edited your video so the middle frame was the thing you wanted as the thumbnail, and so I did it as a joke, like, boobs in the middle frame. So that was the thumbnail. And one guy, he was upset at these chicks who had, like, with the boobs, with the cleavage and everything. So he did a moobs cleavage thing, which was the thumbnail, and he got a strike, a community standard strike on YouTube, and had the video removed for doing a moob cleavage shot. And Ray's, what cup size is Palmer? It's like 60 quadruple D. I'm just like I think I'm actually only about a B cup. 40B. But Palmer's like a 60 quadruple D. Why are we talking about noobs? Oh, so it's not just rain, it's like proper winter weather. Like, we had a couple of nights this week. At night, it didn't go below 15. Oh, nice, Race. You got muscle under the flap. I have no muscle, man. I'm just fat as fuck. All right, I left my phone over here. So, yeah, this is really fucking bizarre weather for the second half of June. Like, not getting below 15 at night. Pinkish circled nipples. That's also nice. No, Safa, that's cocktail number 2. I did one for the video, and I did one that was just a mix of the mezcal and chartreuse, which, as I said, was really interesting. I like interesting. It's not, I don't super love it, but it was interesting. I like that. Well, I mean, I don't know, Justin, we're already pretty gay talking about noobs. We might as well talk about TV's most famous gay couple, Bert and Ernie. Oh, yeah, Safa, we had plumbers come on Monday and fix it. And they fucking went to town. They appear to have dug up the whole front yard. But they also seem to have gone to some trouble to put grass back in place afterwards, which was nice of them. And then the ensuite bathroom wasn't working, like some dirt must have got in the pipe. So I called them and said, hey, something's wrong here. And they came back and fixed it. So I think we're all hunky-dory with the leak. But yeah, it probably cost the owners a pretty penny. But it's unavoidable. Oh, yeah, I was going to look up something. It was the weather. So we're getting after tomorrow. Like tonight, it's still not meant to go below 10, but then we're getting lows from Sunday on, 7, 6, and the high is only going to 14. That's proper June weather. What we had this week was very fucking weird. Which one of that couple had moobs? No, yeah, Ernie is moobs. Ernie is also the top, but I think Bert's a power bottom. That's what I'm going to say. No, Safa, the rain stopped before the stream. Oh, dear. So, Charlie, weren't looking at chat. Digital TV, a lot of people need digital TVs to boost the power of the antenna. Okay. Well, Jesus Christ, like for Foxtel, I had a satellite installed. Foxtel just went at one point like, oh yeah, your neighborhood, to keep it working, we have to install a satellite dish. I was like, okay. And Mrs. Angry's like, should we ask the owner if it's okay? And I went, fuck no. What if they say no? It's just like a satellite dish on the roof now. So if the owner ever goes, hey, how long's that been there? I'm going to fucking lie and just say, oh, it was there when we moved in. Prove it wasn't, you guys. Prove it wasn't. So yeah, I have a little satellite dish on the roof. Oh, Rays. Chris Farley's moves would have jiggled big time. I mean, you get the whole thing. John Candy. I'd rather cuddle with John. Okay, if we're going to cuddle into someone's moves, I would go John Candy over Chris. I just think Chris Farley was a bit weird. And maybe was on too much of the fucking amphetamine type drugs. So the funny thing is, it's not often, but because we're using satellite, we occasionally get a thing on the Foxtel where it goes, solar flares are disrupting the signal. You can't watch anything. Justin, that's what I believe. We improved the property by having a satellite, but I'm also just going to lie through my fucking teeth. If I don't think they'll even notice, like when we move out, and I don't know when that's going to be when we move out. We're about to sign another year lease. But yeah, if they said, wait, when did that get put in? I will just fucking lie and say, I don't know. It was there when we got there. The solar stuff's up maybe once a year, maybe not even once a year. But it's fascinating to me, isn't it? Rays, you reckon John Candy had cuddly moves? I do too. Seemed more comforting. Yeah, no, Farley is a fucking big night out when you've been doing shots and probably fucking hitting the meth pipe and doing lines of K. I don't know. That is true, Charlie. Well, it's not so much outdated, but Foxtel said we can't get proper service with cable here now. We had to have the satellite. Heine, moobs don't literally lactate because men can't, but they can secrete. But it's not milk. It's usually an infection if moobs secrete. I'm just saying that with like huge confidence, and I'm not a scientist. So I should probably have something non-alcoholic. No, I don't have 2 boxes for NBN. I just quickly said that, and I might actually. Okie doke. I'm going to get one of these little cans. I got a new 6-pack of this today. The Coastal Fizz, because it was on special. I can't keep up with the Joneses. Oh, I've got some freaking little boxes to put in my recycling. I'll have to remember to do that tomorrow. Just you have to wait 8 months for internet? That's I can't even process that, Justin. So what am I right about? I mean, I like to think I'm right about most things, but I also, am struggling to maintain a train of thought at the moment. So I'm not sure what you're saying I'm right about. So if you can stream Foxtel NBN with an IQ5 box. I'm just going by what fucking Foxtel said. Raise, you watched the 2025 Jurassic World movie. How many more times are you doing the same thing? Oh, honestly, okay. The most recent Jurassic World one, I just found boring because it was so low stakes. Like you just look at stuff and when like they don't have the guts to kill these characters off. These characters aren't in danger. Like the Hispanic family, they don't have the guts to kill them off. That's fucking no. And even the one character that does, plot armor. The one character that does the hero's sacrifice death, they didn't even have the guts to go through with it. Oh, okay, moves. So if you're saying I'm right about moobs, moobs don't lactate, but they occasionally secrete. And it's not a particularly positive thing when they secrete. Yeah. No, the most recent Jurassic World movie is just like, oh my God. It was so obvious which characters they were going to kill and which characters they wouldn't. It was just, there were no stakes. You're just like, well, every supporting character is going to die. The Hispanic family, they're not going to kill any of them. Heroes. But yeah, and then you got the one guy and he's doing the sacrifice for everyone else. So, he's doing a hero death, but they didn't even have the fucking guts to stick with it. Where he's, dude walks off a 500-foot mountain, lives because a tree leaves. That all times, you know what people are obsessed with that one? Because there was a true story in World War II. Someone who was in a bomber, I think he was the tail gunner in a bomber that was on fire, and he's cut off from the rest of the plane, and it was over Germany, and he's got to burn, so he smashed his way out of the canopy and just jumped, because he did have a chute, but the chute didn't open, and but it was the middle of winter, and there were really tall pine trees. This was like 1,000,000 to 1 shot, but this is a true story. Really tall pine trees covered in snow, and he hit like the top of one, and it was like boom, 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 and each branch slowed him a little, and it's like until he got to the bottom, and it was a really deep snowdrift, and just boom. Rays, you think it's urban legend? Look, I'm prepared to be proved wrong, but I'm almost sure this was a true story. This happened because the guy, he ended up in a POW camp, and the Germans thought he was a spy, and they would execute spies. And he's like, no, spy. And apparently there was something on his kit, his parachute kit, that proved that the parachute never deployed. So he fell out of the plane, but survived. Great big asterisk next to that I'm prepared to be proven wrong, but I believed that was a true story. That once someone survived jumping out of a plane because they went through all the branches of this pine tree and blah, 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 into a really deep, fresh snowdrift. And they were fucked up. They were really hurt, but they didn't die. Oh, you know what? We're on the internet. Did WW2 airmen survive jumping from a plane without a ticket, without a parachute? Okay, AI, which I don't trust, says multiple World War II airmen miraculously survived falling or jumping from their planes without a parachute. Okay, but there are Wikipedia articles. Alan McGee, a US airman, survived a 6,700 meter fall from a B-17 Flying Fortress. Good Lord. So he's in a Flying Fortress, bombing over France, left his bail turret when it became inoperative, been torn, rendered useless, flak hit, blew off a section of the wing, aircraft entered a deadly spin, McGee blacked out because of high altitude, thrown clear of the aircraft. He fell over almost 6.5 kilometers. He crashed through the glass roof of a railroad station. The glass roof shattered, mitigating the force. Okay, now this is 1,000,000,000 to 1 long shot. Rescuers found him on the floor, taken to a prisoner of war camp. Okay, For a glass ceiling to slow his fall enough to save his life, that's a 1,000,000,000 to 1 shot. Also, okay, Nicholas Alcamade. British. This is the one I know. Tail gunner. He fell 5.5 kilometers. Wasn't wearing a parachute. Caught fire. Jumped, preferring to die on impact rather than burn to death. Fell 5.5 kilometers. Yeah, no, this is the guy I was talking about. His fall was broken by fir trees and soft snow. God damn. But the guy with the glass roof is wilder than the guy with the trees and the fucking snow. I hadn't heard the glass roof one. And because he fell from 6.5 kilometers. Can you also imagine how long it takes to fall 6.5 kilometers? That's not like out of a plane and smash and done. That's like, this is fucked. Look how fast the ground's coming out. This fucking sucks. This is bullshit. This is going to be so fucked. You have so long to think about it. Oh yeah, no, Rays. We've gone from moobs to WW2. We do fucking whatever. But there you go. I'm so pleased that I validated the guy who with the trees and the snow is real. But he's not as extreme as the guy that just the glass roof slowed him down enough. Damn. Yeah, okay, Rays, the memory, that's the funny thing, because the brain is funny. I reckon you most often don't remember pain, sometimes trauma. So, okay. I academically remember, like when I had this finger operated on, I was at least semi-conscious the whole time, but I couldn't feel anything. And they gave me some painkillers and sent me home. It was like day surgery. I was in there for a couple of hours. And I went to bed that night and the anesthetic wore off during the night. And I woke up in what I academically remember as the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And I took a couple of these painkillers and they didn't work. And I was meant to wait 4 hours. And I spent 3 hours. This was in the early hours of the morning. I got out of bed and I was on the lounge and I was just like punching the lounge and swearing because for 3 hours I was in the worst pain. Then it's like 3 hours. That's long enough. I'm not waiting 4 hours. And I took another dose of the painkillers and they kicked in and no more pain. But my memory of that pain being terrible is only academic. I don't remember 3 hours of trauma and the worst pain I've ever felt. It's purely academic. The brain's just going, let's not think about that anymore. Safa, if I'd had to have hospital treatment in the US for that finger, that would have been tens of thousands of dollars. I was so glad when they finally did that in season 2 of The Pit, which is a great show about the public hospital in Pittsburgh, because they're always doing all this over-the-top treatment of all the people who come in. And I was just going, surely all these people are now bankrupt because of medical debt. And they finally actually addressed that in season 2, where it's like, yeah, no, these people are going to be fucking bankrupt because of medical debt, which is so fucked up. Like, the US has more bankruptcies due to medical debt than and many more bankruptcies due to medical debt than the entire rest of the world combined. The system's just so fucked. I mean, I'm still hurting because it cost me about $3,000, including the follow-up visits, which I'd only just paid my credit cards off when that happened. Danny Boy on Twitch, hello. Yes, there are a whole spectrum of things that make me appreciate living in Australia. I really don't want to live anywhere else. But yeah, the fact that, and that was this was private treatment. Like if I had waited 6 to 12 months and the finger would have been useless, but it wouldn't have cost me much at all in the public thing. But even in the private sector, it cost me 3,000. But yeah. So for the US health system, you get some medical tourists in Australia, but in the US, I've seen so many things where someone say like, "Oh, I had to have this surgery," and I got a quote in the US. It was going to cost me $30,000, and I worked out I could get it done like in Spain, and I could have the surgery and stay in Spain for a month, like recuperating, for $10,000. So for $10,000, I could have a 1-month holiday in Spain, and have this surgery, as opposed to being in the US and it costing $30,000 or more dollars. Oh, that's the funny thing about the US health service, Safa. If you have the money, the treatment you get in the US is among the best in the world if you're in the right hospital, definitely. Raise your cat just licked your steak, looking you in the eye, wandered off like, oh, that was a dominance thing, Raise, honestly. I love that. Licked your steak and said, what the fuck are you going to do about it? Yeah, lots of people in the US get surgery done in Spain. A lot of people in Australia go to somewhere in Southeast Asia for surgeries. It's a whole thing. I feel like I haven't said that in ages, and that was not deliberate, that I just randomly said it's a whole thing. Yes, Afra, it's not just Thailand. It's a few places in Southeast Asia some Australians go to for surgery. And again, it's usually cosmetic. I know, Raze, you've had dominance asserted by your cat. It's like your cat was going, I could have taken the steak. But, I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. I'm in charge. Oh, and yeah, speaking about things thinking they're in charge, freaking the pigeons in the house, we did have an extra one for a while. I think stuck around for about a month, but it was pretty obnoxious. It's the one, I think I posted a couple of pictures of it sitting on my head. But I finally decided, fuck that. We had it in a cage outside for a while. Then one day we just said, you know what? Just let it out. See what it does. If it stays, it stays. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It didn't stay. It flew off, and it's like, great. Oh, that's a nice positive attitude, Soph. The cat was just testing to make sure your steak wasn't poisoned. And Safa, I have not heard possum noise for a little while, but yes, thankfully, our possums are all gone. They didn't die in the roof. That was a huge plus, because honestly, it was getting super fucking weird that they got into the walls and there was this weird horror movie scratching noise in the walls. I wasn't that bothered that you would hear possums running from one end of the roof to the other, and they would thunder along. I'm like, fine, I don't mind possums, whatever. But when they're in the walls, it's like, oh no. Race, if pigeons had opposable thumbs, it'd be a much different society. If dolphins had opposable thumbs, we'd all be fucked. So if you got a Facebook recommendations for audio blockers for possums, they're not that bad. Yeah, the roof is quiet now. You know what we're getting at the moment? Because we get migratory birds here. I think some cockatoos, and I think they're corellas. Sometimes we get sulphur-crested cockatoos, but seasonally we get corellas coming through. But also we've got currawongs migrating through at the moment. And I love Currawong's song. It's beautiful. And they were all about yesterday. And then a pair was bathing in burst. Denny on the Current Affair. An elderly lady thought she had possums in the roof, and it was an actual dude living in a roof. Damn. Well, in my case, it was definitely possums, because when we put the possum door in there, they all left. Oh yeah, rays. Dolphins are the Epsteins of the ocean. Yes. Sexual assault happens in the dolphin world. They are fucked up. And yes, Charlie, Day of the Dolphin. That is like they're training dolphins to put bombs on boats, if I remember. Yeah, Danny, it's the Foxtel installers made themselves at home in the roof. That's what happened. Oh dear. That's it. George C. Scott. I was trying to remember who the main thing was. Charlie. Yeah. So it's training dolphins to attach limpet mines to ships, isn't it? I'm sure I saw that in the 70s. I don't really remember it very well. Right. Sorry, are ducks attaching limpet mines to ships as well? I mean, I wouldn't trust ducks. They could definitely do it. God, actually, ducks just made me think of Dr. Abigail. I feel like I should drop Dr. Abigail a message and see if she's okay, because she had a few health things at the moment. Charlie, the tagline was, unwittingly he trained the dolphins to kill. Oh, right. Okay. So the dolphins were going to kill the president of the United States. My God. Just intelligence, someone else makes you think of intelligent life in the universe might not be that rare. Who knows? I mean, pigeons are weirdly smart. Oh, yeah, no rays. But also, you get a few of those cetaceans, dolphins and orcas actually torture their prey sometimes and play with it, like cats do. They have this cruel streak. Yeah, no, I've read some very disturbing stories about dolphin sexual behavior. So, something about intelligence and terrible behavior is to be learned there. Ooh, I just thought of one more thing. I've just yeah, see, that's the fun thing, Justin. Intelligence. What is intelligence? But orcas have a spectrum of behaviors that's quite sophisticated, and notably the cruelty, where they will actually play with their prey. I've seen video, it's like in a David Attenborough thing, of orcas who caught a seal and they toss it to each other, and it's not dead. They haven't killed it. They could just kill it like that, but they just torture it and play games with it. Which is your take on orcas? They can't figure out they need to jump rocks without a kid showing them. Sorry, no. Okay, me being a Simpson tragic. I'm just thinking of their version of Free Willy, the director's cut. Oh, Orca. That was. Oh, wasn't it Richard Harris in Orca? I saw that movie when it came out. It was a Jaws ripoff. Was it Richard Harris in that? He's a drunk. He'd do anything for drinking money. I can remember bits of that Orca movie. Just when you think orcas have empathy. Again, it can be dangerous if we anthropomorphize the behavior of animals. But I agree, orca and other cetaceans display signs of quite sophisticated intelligence. Grace, you want someone to make an Orcanado movie? I agree. It would have been wild. It was Richard Harris, was it, Charlie? Yeah. I remember a few scenes from it. Okay, I've been doing some whiskey infusions. Justin, orcas torture, have empathy and emotions. Look, there are indicators that orcas are very intelligent. Also, they sink yachts of billionaires, which is fuck yeah. Okay, I'll show you the two that I'm infusing at the moment. This is interesting how this has gone. Okay. This just looks like whiskey. This has got tonka beans in it. This is whiskey. It's got Biscoff. Jesus Christ, my brain just stopped working. So if I shake it up again, I'm going to have to filter this one. So this whole thing. I might leave that for longer, but this one, tonka beans in it. It might only need 2 days. I put it in yesterday. Tonka beans are very interesting. Oh, actually, I might do this one. Don't want to leave this one for too long. God, it smells like shoe leather. Well, it's taking on some chocolatey flavors. We'll see. I'm going to try that again tomorrow night because I saved some of the whiskey so I can compare it, the uninfused whiskey with tonka bean infused whiskey. I read up a bit online, so I think maybe I only want to do it for 2 days, and that'll be tomorrow. So I'll compare this to, I kept a little sample that didn't have tonka bean in it and see how different it tastes. But now it's all mixed up. The Biscoff whiskey, which I think is basically going to be a liqueur when I'm done, I might leave it for as long as a week. And then I have to filter it, which will probably be a very fucking slow process. I think filter 1 will be through cheesecloth. And then filter 2 will be through a coffee filter. We'll see how that goes. This one, I won't have to filter. I just strain it. I know you might be able to see the tonka bean pieces in the bottom of it. We do a breathalyzer, Safa. All right, I'm just going to put these back. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get a decent score on the breathalyzer, actually. As I stand up, it's like, I am a little inebriated. Let's give it a go, though. I'm going into the city tomorrow. I don't normally go in on a Friday, but it's for a workshop-y thing that I volunteered myself for. .14. I mean, honestly, that feels accurate. Oh yeah, no, there'll be a stream. There's a non-zero chance tomorrow's stream might start late. I don't expect it to start late. but it might. This is during the day. I'm just going into the city and workshopping some stuff with some peeps. But again, there's a non-zero chance, because all these people know I'm into cocktails, that after we spend the whole day doing this workshop, they said, hey, should we go for a cocktail somewhere? It will take this much pressure for me to go, yeah, let's all go to a cocktail bar, which I will still probably start the stream on time, but I will have been pre-gaming. So Ray's not on doors full time, start being, oh, nice. Join some of the Friday streams. That'd be nice. Supper, did I see your fairy bread post? I don't know. I did a video years ago about Americans getting fairy bread wrong, and I had a real rant about it. So I assume it's more of the fucking same, is it? This is not really happening. Oh, that's got a bit of sediment in it now. Anyway, this the first time I've made a clarified cocktail using evaporated milk, and it was really good. And so I have a plan tomorrow or on the weekend, make another one with a different combo in it that I think is going to be even better. Maybe best ever. Razor day shift stuff does work a lot better than nights. Yeah. I don't understand the question, Safa. How many weeks till no Friday stream? Danny boy, you're newly so thank you for joining in though, Danny. Take awkward way, calming and soothing projection. Nice. Look, dude, I have did radio in the past. I have seriously thought about like doing ASMR videos, honestly. Very much appreciate you joining and participating tonight, Dan. As you may have noticed, I think you're the only one on Twitch. I use a service called StreamYard to restream to multiple platforms. Most people watch on YouTube. Occasionally people watch on Twitch, like yourself. Sometimes people even watch on Facebook. Oh, Raze, you haven't got work gym into your new routine? Okay. I said I was unavailable one Friday stream a while ago. Oh, dear, dude, I don't know. Shit happens, Safa. That's all I'm going to say. I can't predict, but yeah, there shouldn't be any impediment to tomorrow night's stream. Saturday night is date night. Oh, you know what? We found out the place we're going to actually went through major changes. They expanded, took over like the shop next door, and they're bigger. So it's almost like going to a new place for date night tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, Saturday night. Which is interesting because this place was on probation. Like last time we went there, it was pretty ordinary. Like their quality's been up and down. We've had nights there that were really good, and some that not as much. And the last time was quite a dip in quality. But now they've opened up this new bit. We're going to go to the new bit tomorrow, Saturday night, not tomorrow night, and we'll see. Safa, I also am not fond of crowded, loud places where you can't hear yourself think. But this place, it's interesting. It's like a tram ride and a walk. Takes us about half an hour to get there, I think. So I'm quite keen to see what the new bit is like and if they've changed the food and drinks menu much since we were last there. Because seriously, they were on probation. If they don't measure up, they'll be off the rotation. Because we have so many places we've found that we really like. We only do date night every second weekend. So that means the places on the list, we only visit them like twice a year. Right? You're into chill joints for dinner? Yeah, no, loud places are just oof. You know what, Safa? Because of being at this workshop in the city tomorrow, because like I normally get the baguette locally on Friday, I actually got a baguette today for Saturday, and I'll get something else on Saturday. Date night, we usually start somewhere between 6:30 and 8, depending on the venue. How busy was the supermarket? Not busy. Ooh. Raise, is that what you used to do back in the day? Friday night Vic markets for food? I have not done that in ages because it's not close to me. It's not convenient. Another one I haven't been to for ages is the Pran markets, but that's considerably more convenient to me. Still not particularly convenient, but it's much more convenient than the Vic. And even recently, I got a chance to revisit South Melbourne Market because I had dropped Mrs. Angry off for a medical appointment in Docklands, or South Bank. It was more South Bank than Docklands. And I thought, okay, I'm going to amuse myself. I'll drop you off, and I'm just going to go check out South Melbourne Market on there. Safa, see, every time you ask me a question about Sydney, I have no fucking idea. I left Sydney 27 years ago. I've almost never been back in that time. I've been back there like 3 or 4 times in 27 years. I have no fucking idea what there is in Sydney. Rays, I agree Vic Markets is great for food. We do occasionally go into the city for stuff, and yeah, it's train or tram. Places we can go by public transport. When I lived in Sydney, again, I don't think I was really a market guy when I was in Sydney because I was just in my 20s. So I can't give any sort of a meaningful answer to that. So Charlie, One Note Guitar, you saw another good movie. Oh, the old fucking Harrison Ford one, The Frisco Kid. Oh my God. I saw that you posted that and I went, oh wow. I feel like that was a low point in Harrison Ford's career. All right, so you watched 3 movies. Frisco Kid was the worst. I think I've watched it. I don't think I've watched any movies since the weekend. I watched it because it's the other comedy western. And enjoyed Kirk Douglas with Arnie and Margaret and the villain. Okay. The other comedy western you mean as opposed to Blazing Saddles? Oh, god damn. Sorry, just having a little taste of that clarified cocktail. It's so good. So, a new Roman movie with Tom Holland? I feel like that's maybe an autocorrect one. Charlie, you checked out like the villain way more? Right, to see Nino is coming. Oh, yeah. They are predicting a very pronounced hot and dry. Yeah, get your aircon sorted for this summer because it's looking like being a beast. Oh, that one with the Listomania did the Who do that? I know Roger Daltrey's in it, yeah. Was the music done by the Who? A Ken Russell movie, yeah. Yeah, I've been aware of Listomania since it came out. I don't think I've ever seen it though. And I did see that you posted it to Plex. Oh, it's all classical. Okay. Yeah, Roger Daltrey had a bit of a go at being an actor, and he's not a terrible actor, but it never took off for him. So, Ray's, your winter's been rough. 3 Celsius worked. Oh, see, we so far has been weirdly warm. Like we had overnight lows of 14 and 15 this week, which is ridiculous. So, Charlie, Listomania is a famous piano player composer from back in the Beethoven days. Yeah, Franz Liszt. Yeah. Girls would follow him like the Beatles. So Listomania like Beatlemania. Yeah, okay. I was only aware that the film existed. Never seen it. So Roger Daltrey's an awful actor. Nothing compared to Ken Russell on acid. Yeah, Ken Russell was a bit of a wild man. Sorry, Ray's, the roles reversing. The Perth summer is cold. Sorry, the Perth winter is cold, and the Melbourne winter is weirdly warm. We're getting proper June weather next week, like overnight lows of 5 or 6. And we'll probably get a bollocking in July. July is almost always colder than June. All right, so it's really good visually. Feast for the eyes, Listomania. Ray, do you remember waking up to ice cold, wet bedroom walls because of frost growing? Yeah, no. The explanation is fucking climate change. I don't know why Perth's getting the cold winter, but so far this June has been surreal in how warm it's been. We're only getting proper June weather next week. Fuck knows what'll happen in July. But I bet it starts getting warm again in August. It's just fucking ridiculous. We shall see, I suppose. I mean, I'm used to for like fucking Dubbo growing up because you're out there on the Western Plains, nothing to hold the heat in. So in winter, it would regularly get into the very low single figures, sometimes even sub-zero overnight in winter. But then it would get to the mid-teens during the day. You can't fucking dress for that. Like I'm going to school, I'm leaving home, and it's like 3 or 4 degrees Celsius, and it went below freezing overnight. So you're wearing 10 layers and you go to school and it's up to 15 or 16 by the afternoon. Oh, nice. Danny, you're from Mudgee originally. Yeah, I am from Dubbo originally. And I regularly shit on Dubbo on the streams. But I'm in Melbourne now. Thumbs up for the Central West of New South Wales. Yeah, we'll see what happens this summer. Ray's, you went country to your ex's farm years back in winter. 3 hours inland, flat country, did midnight star photography shoot, had frozen beer. Oh, yeah. When you're out in the plains, when there's nothing to hold the heat in, temperatures fucking plummet in winter. Yeah, because it's just flat and open and nothing holds the heat in. And oh my God, it just gets so cold overnight. But weirdly, it gets, like I said, I'd wake up just barely above zero, rug the fuck up to go to school, and by the afternoon it's 15 or 16 or more, and it's like you have to take everything off. It's ridiculous. But freaking nature, man. What are we going to do about it? Randomly having rants against nature. I say raise SWA. Didn't go country, Victoria, because of battle conditions. Oh my god. That's the way it is, honestly. Damn. I think my oldest brother actually died a few years ago. I've got to get stories off my second oldest brother before he dies because I only ever got hints from it. Like, there was another family in Dubbo. We had 10 kids. It was like 6 boys, four girls. But there was this other family, the Bucklands, and they had 8 kids, but 7 of them were boys. There's only one girl. And all the boys in my family basically had a parallel Buckland that we'd hang out with. And I just heard these hints and rumors about my 2 oldest brothers and the 2 oldest Bucklands that they were fucking unholy terrors and they just got up to so much shit in Dubbo. So I feel like my second oldest brother is still around and maybe get him drunk and get him to tell stories. Because I swear to fuck, okay, like, so I know one of the things that happened to him. Him and his mates went like joyriding. They stole a car and were just going to run it into the ground and ride it off. And they got caught by the cops and brought in. And my dad was actually really connected with the cops. He was a boxer in his youth and was in with the police boys club. And so he's really connected with the cops. And so it's like the cops basically gave him a wink and a nudge, like, oh, your son got into trouble, like stole a car and caused some property damage. But, we'll let him home. And my dad, in his infinite fucking wisdom, i.e., he was an idiot, said, no, like, teach him a lesson. I'm going to put him in a boys' home. It was the equivalent of a youth detention center, like a jail for offenders who were under 18. Thought it would teach him a lesson. So the cops literally said, we'll let him off. And my dad says, no, teach him a lesson. Put him in this place. And so the story got told, my mum and dad went to visit him. And it's like a dormitory style accommodation. And they go, oh, I got 7 years. Like, and he's basically saying, like, oh, yeah, I'm sharing this dorm. That guy killed his father. That guy killed his mother. That guy killed his mother and his father. Yeah, no, Rays, the boys' homes are fucked. And when he's basically telling my parents he's in this place with psychopaths, they got him out. And it's just like, ugh, Jesus Christ. Danny, you grew up in Mudgee. Oh, you lived in Moree as well. Okay. Yeah, no, dude. Mudgee, Moree, Dubbo. Fucking dude, we have a very shared experience, my man. I went to Catholic school in Dubbo up to year 10 and then state school for year 11 and 12. But I mean, I can still remember, like, it's like everyone was there. Okay, you've of course had a lot of Aboriginal people in Dubbo. The white people. It's like 2 Italian families who were cousins, the Crisantes. They were Sicilians, actually. Greek family, the Zulis. There were like 3 Chinese families. And that was the ethnic mix of Dubbo. Aboriginal people, bunch of white people, 2 Italian families. Oh, no, it was slightly more diverse than this. There were the Olaks as well. I think it was Central European. There were a few post-World War II European migrants in Dubbo, actually. Danny, would it be like throwing the lamb to the wolves going to high school? Oh, yeah, shit. The shift from Catholic school to state school was a hell of a fucking thing. So if I was a goody two-shoes, I mean, I was really fucking repressed by Catholicism, honestly. Yeah, no, Rays, I agree. You ruin someone's life by sending them to youth incarceration centers. It's fucked. People think, oh, that'll teach them all this. No, it'll fuck them up. It's ridiculous. Um, oh my God. So fucked. But yeah, like I said, I've definitely got to get my older brother drunk at some point and get true stories from him. Because oh man, I was fucking innocent. My older brothers were fucking miscreants, honestly. Okay, here's the thing. I'm sure I've told this story on a stream before. A thing happened once. Both my parents were away. I don't even remember what they were doing. They went somewhere on holidays and they left us, and we we're all teenagers. And it was like, yeah, cool. We're looking after ourselves. And living at home, I did have one older sister still living at home. I guess she was the responsible one. Anyway, she had a friend, a girl, a friend who was, she was involved with some really fucking dodgy guys. And anyway, my sister had some of her friends around, and this girl's boyfriend, and he was a fucking thug, and his thug mate came to the door and screaming. And I remember this really well. My two younger brothers were there, and I was out in the yard and I saw this car pull up, and I knew it was this girl's thug boyfriend. It was a thug boyfriend and his thug mate. And I went running through the house, through the back door to the front door. And my little brother was just about to open the door. And I was like, no. And I just grabbed him and pulled him back. And this thug and his mate were actually drunk. They were driving around while they were drunk. Where's Debbie? And lucky for me, he was really drunk, so he was really slow. And he mistook me for my older brother because, yeah, my older brother did actually have the hots for his girlfriend. And I was just like, they're around the back, I'll get him to come around. And he just goes, this drunk goes, you're the cunt I don't like, aren't you? And I went, what? And I realized he meant my brother. And he's like, grabbed the front of my shirt. And he's like, he thinks he's going to headbutt me, but he's really drunk, so he's really slow. And so he grabs the front of my shirt and he head back, and I went, oh, he thinks he's going to headbutt me? And I went, fuck this nonsense. And I put my elbow up. So he headbutted my elbow, which fucked him up. And then the girl came around and they fucked off. And that was all done. And it might have been a couple of weeks later, but it was a bit later. My second oldest brother comes to my sister and said, okay, I heard what happened. These guys came around and threatened violence on my little brothers. Your friend's boyfriend. What's their name? I'm going to go sort them out. And my sister goes like, no, just no, I don't want to. And this is my second oldest brother. He goes, you better tell me his name, because you tell me his name, I'm going to find him and fuck him up. If you don't tell me his name, I will tell our oldest brother that this drunk came around and threatened violence on our little brothers. He will find him. He will fucking kill him. That's not a metaphor. He'll fucking kill him. And my sister goes, yeah, that's true. Okay, this is the guy's name. And I was, so like my two older brothers, they were like 10 plus years older than me. So they were living in a completely different world to me. But my sister told me this story. She says, oh yeah, our second oldest brother come around and said, tell me who this guy was so I can go and punch fuck out of him to teach him a lesson. And I didn't want that to happen, so I didn't want to tell him. And he said, I will tell our oldest brother and he will straight up fucking kill him. And this also ties back to that other family. These two older brothers had a compadre in this other family, and they were legit going to go out together and fuck this guy up. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. It's so fucking wild. And I was comparatively so innocent. Like I had a compadre in this other family, the Bucklands. I'm just throwing this name out. That's never. It doesn't matter. And we were comparatively much more innocent. Like I stayed over with him, we hung out, it's the whole thing. But our older brothers were fucking madmen, and I don't know what shit they got up to in the town. So, okay, how old is my second oldest brother? Must be close to fucking 70 now. So I reckon if I could get him to come to Melbourne and get him drunk and get some fucking stories out of him, I think we would have some mad fucking... Because he would be telling stories about shit that happened 50, 55 years ago. Somewhere between 45 and 55 years ago. So the statute of limitations is gone. So I feel like I could just fucking get him to tell me these stories. Oh God, now this is now my quest. I gotta convince. So one of my older sisters comes down to Melbourne semi-regularly, but she's cool. She's fine and whatnot. But this brother, he's a fucking madman. I gotta kind of convince him and his wife to come down here for a holiday, get him drunk and get some fucking stories. Oh shit, Justin, a fucking live stream with my brother would be... Again, any of my older siblings who knew I had this would be fucking down for it. Safa, I don't reckon they look like me, but maybe they do. And yeah, this second older brother still lives in Dubbo. Rees, you missed the older crew you grew up with? The old story. Yeah, no. I swear to fuck. So this is my older brothers. So this is stories from the 70s, the 1970s. Shit they got up to in the 70s and early 80s in Dubbo. I think they have some fucking unhinged stories. So this is my quest. Try and convince my brother. And he'll probably, I don't know if he'd come with or without. His wife's cool. Kim, she's cool. God, I'm going to start messaging them and try and get them to come to Melbourne because I want these fucking stories. I want them on tape. I want to record these stories. Like, come on, man, just tell me the most fucked up stories that I had no idea that this shit was happening when I was a kid. I haven't directly talked to this brother for yonks, like 10 years. Because I never go back to Dubbo anymore. Oh, no, Justin, he's so unlike me. Like, he probably loves Pauline Hanson for a fucking start. I reckon I could get him on here and get drinking. Like, I think he'd probably vote for Pauline Hanson, actually, my brother. But there's also a middle brother. He's probably like 3 years older than me. So if I work out the ages of my siblings, it was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This older brother, he's somewhere between 8. So I don't even know how. He's 8 to 10 years older than me. But I feel like he's a whole generation older than me. It'd be pretty fucking wild. But yeah, his wife's cool. They're real fucking country people, honestly. Like, his wife's family come from a much smaller town. His wife's family are fucking crazy, like in a good way. Like, I've always enjoyed hanging out with them. They're farm people and real small town people. They're fucking crazy. Danny, I grew up in Dubbo. Okay, so dude. So I'm 60, right? So my formative years in Dubbo were the 70s and 80s. Heidi, could my brothers be a cunt or a fucking cunt? Depends. I mean, like this is a legit thing. Like within my family, older siblings punched fuck out of younger siblings. But if anyone outside of the family fucked with any of the younger siblings, the older siblings would go out and fuck them up. Like, I particularly think my two oldest brothers, there would be a whole spectrum of people in Dubbo who would call them fucking cunts. Justin, too bad Daisy's not here anymore. Ramp it up with him and brother. Okay, because AZ is actually slightly younger than me, and he's the oldest in his family. But he had AZ had wild, crazy stories about Canberra because he hung out with straight up fucking crims. Danny, old school country way though. Yeah, oh no, yeah, fuck, you know it, Danny. Yes, fucking you know it. Like within the family, there'd be fights, there'd be like physical violence in the family. But if anyone outside of the family fucked with someone in the family, oh no, that shit will not stand. I don't think AZ ever went to Dubbo, Safa. Of course, AZ and I met in Bathurst, which is like a smaller version of Dubbo. Hey, Celtic, how you going? This is one of my... This might be from the first year I was buying these shirts. This sort of Jetsons design. 50s, 60s futurist design. I don't know. Ray's second guess when telling stories because of that. One day when everyone's gone, you'll have some stories. Yeah. So Justin, you're the older in your family? Okay. Oh, Celtic. I'm talking crazy Dubbo stories, actually, mate. I think you would have really enjoyed it, but you missed it. Particularly talking about my two oldest brothers. So there's basically a 20-year age gap between the oldest of my siblings and the youngest of my siblings. And I'm the 8th. So there was a big 8-year gap between me and my older siblings. But I've now set a quest to try and convince my oldest surviving siblings, because my two oldest siblings have both died. Our oldest brother and oldest sister both died. So my oldest surviving sibling is a brother. And I think he's got some super fucked up stories. It's now a quest of mine to get him here. And I need to tell him, like, dude, you need to tell me the really fucked up stories from when you were a teenager and in your 20s. Because he did some wild fucking shit. He legit did some crazy shit. He actually drowned when he was... Oh, it might have even been preteen. He was either a young teenager or preteen. I think it was at a swimming pool. He drowned, and there was this whole thing. What has been described to me is he was packed in, when they took him to the hospital, he was packed in ice to slow down his metabolism. He might have suffered some brain damage from this. He recovered. He might have suffered some brain damage from this. Oxygen deprivation. Who knows? Rays, one you can tell, being 16 at Altona Beach, fighting with some Nazi dude. He got smoked in the scrap, come back with a shotty and let it off. Damn, you could hear it whistle by ear. Fuck me. See, and this is also... AZ would tell the wildest stories as well. Like there's a guy, if you watch Code Grey, the other guy who's in Code Grey who plays all the doctors, he's a blacksmith. He makes swords and stuff, but he made AZ a metal walking stick so AZ could fuck up people who fucked with him, because there are a certain sort of scumbag who identifies people who seem vulnerable, women or old people or people with disabilities, and AZ is going along with a walking stick. And he told this one story. It's like at Footscray Station, this fucking junkie started fucking with him. And AZ had a backpack with him and his stick. And when AZ was in a bad mood, he was in a bad fucking mood. And these junkies fucking with him on the platform at Footscray Station, and he's got his metal walking stick, but he's got a backpack. And she's going, "You ain't getting your bag, mate." And he says, "Nothing to do with you." "No, what's in your bag?" And he said, "Death." And the guy thinks he's going to rip him off because he's like this dodgy looking guy with a walking stick. He doesn't know the walking stick's metal and designed to fuck people up. And so AZ smacks the guy in the head, fucks him, and knocks him on his ass. And right at that point, cops came onto the platform just to see AZ fucking smack this guy in the head and knock him on his ass. And the cops go, "Oh, what's all this about?" And they're questioning AZ. So AZ immediately starts acting and goes into his little invalid thing, goes, "Oh, I don't know, officer. I can barely stand. I've got this fella," and he just kind of fell over. And AZ is going, "I am fucked. The cops saw me smack this guy in the head and knock him on his ass. I am going for assault." And AZ is going, "What?" And the cops are not buying it. And at that point, the guy AZ's smacked in the head and knocked to the ground gets up and starts screaming and swearing. And the cops go, "Okay, settle down, sir. What happened there?" And then the guy starts screaming and swearing at the cops, like, "Fuck you, fucking guys." And AZ is going, "Oh, you idiot. You had the upper hand. You would have won. But now you're screaming at the cops and abusing the cops. And so now the cops don't like you." And AZ's just leaned into the, "I'm just a poor invalid. I don't even know what happened." And he's actually broken the guy's fucking nose or something. And and the guy gets cut it off and he's fine. And Safar Albanese's not getting replaced as PM. I don't know what media outlet is spouting that ridiculous fucking horseshit, but it's not going to happen. Whereas when you were 16 here at Footscray VU, class, you tweaked. You had a smack it. Used to go on break and drink booze. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Okay. Rays. At that period in history, you were in your teens. I would have been in my 20s. Footscray was the wild fucking West. It's so tame now. But even when I first moved to Melbourne in the late 90s, Footscray was wild. Yeah, no, Safa, that is ridiculous fucking horse shit. That is absolutely not happening. The only reason Albanese wouldn't be Prime Minister is if he decided to resign. You don't want to believe the fuckery that media put about. Celtic Grenades has been reincarnated. I mean, probably, but it's probably as a farm animal, honestly. Oh, wow. I just realized I've been having this weird rant for 40 minutes now. Last time I looked at the time, it was like 1 hour 20. Now it's like 1 hour 58. Oh, my God. I can really fucking go on and on. Damn, y'all. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of this liqueur. Ah, man, I need to make some more of the syrup. I need to get some apples. Thanks, Danny. I'm the Temu Dr. Phil. Fuck yeah. Honestly. I'm Celtic. What do I think AZ would reincarnate as? An aggressive animal, to be sure. Not as a human. I don't think AZ would want to reincarnate as a human. Like a goat or a llama, some sort of aggressive farm animal. All right, so tomorrow night, party night, big tasting night. So 2 of the barrels I'm almost sure I'm going to decant. The Apple Pie Moonshine. How long has that been going? The Shine's been going since April 24th. The Bickie's been going since March, April, May, June. So the Bickie's been going 3 months. That's definitely coming out. The Moonshine's been going 2 months. I'm pretty sure they're both going to get decanted and put into a bottle. And I'm going to taste the Tonka Bean whiskey as well. That might be as much as I wanted that. Maybe I'll barrel age the Tonka Bean whiskey as well. I don't know. I don't know if I'll get time to go to the supermarket tomorrow and get some apples to make some more syrup, which is the basis of my liqueur. Kelty, you'd come back as an Albi, which is a dog breed. Okay. Rays, one day you went to get booze. One of them tried hitting on a random bird, went to the park in front of Footscray Station, drink, looped out gear, and walked over. Okay, I want to hear this story before I go to bed. Because you have way better Footscray stories than me, even though I was in Footscray in the late 90s. I'm going to eat my cherries. Oh, I love these cherries so fucking much. Yeah, you have to hurry up though, right? Because need to pee. Button butterfly. I'm going to come back in bed so you can poop on my car. That's fair. So you guys started kicking off about flirting with his girl. Pulled an axe? Holy shit. Looked you dead in the eyes. Just walk, man. This doesn't concern you. Jesus Christ. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to quickly, I have to pee, but I'm going to come see if there's any final chat before I go to bed. This will just take a minute. Oh, good Lord. What would I reincarnate as? Oh, God, that's an excellent question. So, Reese, you had the guy pull an axe, which I fucking love. He pulled a fucking axe. You didn't leave because of curiosity. Ended up telling them he had more balls than them, put the axe in his bag, walked off, went back to class. Next day, he came to class. The one who flirted had his face carved up. Oof. He'd seen old mate on the train going home, got done with a box cutter. Ah. Danny, fun fact. Is that the fastest growing country in the world? Someone said it's Dublin. Okay. And butterfly, I'm going to come back as a butterfly. You are a butterfly. Man said he didn't want to do it in front of me. Oh, nice. Dude, see, he liked you, man. He just wanted to fuck up the other guy. Okay. I love that we got into super fucking wild antisocial stories. Who the fuck knows? I swear to God, I've got 2 older brothers. One who's only a couple of years older, one who's quite a few years older. If I could get either of them here, I reckon the stories would fucking go. But we'll see. Yeah, party night tomorrow. Probably just going as normal. There's a chance I might have been pre-gaming, but it'll probably just be normal. But we'll see. But I can't imagine something stopping me from streaming tomorrow. You'll take care. See you another time, but bye for now.
You are totally fucked up!